Acknowledge me!
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Kenan, and welcome to Wrestling is Awesome. If you enjoy listening to 40-year-old men and one younger person talking about wrestling, you are in the right place. First of all, I just want to give a shout out to all our new TikTok followers. Thank you very much for joining us. We are now 2,089 followers. We really appreciate you on there, so thank you so much. Also, I just wanted to let you know, we are now a WWE shop affiliate. So you can use our link to go to the WWE shop to purchase whatever you're going to purchase, and we'll see some of that, and we can then maybe help grow the show even more. So if you want to buy anything from WWE, make sure you check out our link below. It's in the description. We'll post it on all our social medias. That is for now and ever. So use our affiliate link. Right, joining me for the show this week, we have Alex and Lee from the regular team. How you doing, gentlemen?
I am good. I am happy to be on the show, and I'm going to remind you that I'm happy to be on the show every 15 minutes for what seems eternity now.
Because that's how Raw rolls these days.
Oh my God, the recaps. I can't wait to talk about the bloody recaps every 5 minutes.
Lee, how you doing? You all right?
I'm good, my friend. I'm good. I'm looking forward to chatting graps. I wasn't impressed with this week's Raw, if I'm honest. So
yeah, both yourself. I know you sounded off about that. What has happened to your wonderful display behind you?
Oh, we're in the middle of a move, mate. So my Disney memorabilia is all. Honestly, I'll show you on screen. It looks like some sort of genocidal mass grave for plushes at the minute. It's just awful. Tragic scenes.
I better get a copyright claim for Disney for that, but okay. Yeah, R.I.P. Lee's collection. Hopefully he'll find a safe new home. Joining us once again, who now might be becoming part of a regular appearance, we have Sam from Sam's on Wrestling. How you doing, buddy?
I'm doing great. Thank you for letting me come again. I finished work 10 minutes and I went, you know what? I could complain about Raw for an hour and a half. I think I can fit it into my time, my schedule. No problems.
It seems like no, well, you're always welcome. It seems like the general feeling this week about Raw. So where I think last week we all were raving about Raw, how great a show it was. This week it took a little bit of a turn. So just before we start talking about that, if you are watching us on YouTube, make sure you hit that like and subscribe and hit that bell to get notified. And if you're listening to the audio version of this podcast, you can get us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Audible, GoodPods, anywhere you listen to a podcast, we are there. Before we start talking about the actual show, I just want to talk a little bit about Raw and Smackdown. So some good news for the UK and European viewers for the next few weeks, because obviously WWE has now started their European tour on the build up to WrestleMania, and it starts off with Smackdown this Friday, coming from Barcelona, Spain. Now, the good news is Smackdown is available to us on Netflix in the UK and Europe, and we'll be able to watch it live as we have been every week. So this Friday it's going to be from 7 p.m. GMT time, and the following Friday the same when it's going from Italy, and then the 28th of March will be from the O2 in London, and that'll be from 8 p.m. Now, unfortunately, those people in the US, North America, wherever else you may be watching it, SmackDown's only available on the US network or maybe somewhere else, and they'll be watching at their normal scheduled times. So we're going to be watching it live well ahead before any of the US viewers get their eyes on it. However, Netflix obviously is broadcast worldwide live on Netflix, and that is going to be available to everybody as a live show throughout. So Raw next week is going from Brussels, Belgium, 7 p.m. GMT time, and it's 3 p.m. Eastern. Then the following Monday is from Glasgow, 8 p.m. GMT time and 4 p.m. Eastern. And then on Monday, the 31st of March on the O2 in London, again, 8 p.m. GMT and then 3 p.m. Eastern. So guys, we're going to be able to live stream react SmackDown and Raw for the next few weeks. How cool is that?
I think this is a bit of history. I think this might be the first time, I could be wrong, that we have got it before the Americans have ever watched it, because even when it was filmed
How it should be.
here, I know, but even when we had Raw here, they pre-taped it and showed it
Yes.
at the correct time. So we still had to watch it at 1 a.m, even though it happened 5 hours earlier here. So I think this is a bit of history, actually.
It is. It's absolutely fantastic. Watching Raw at 7, 8 o'clock at night is just phenomenal. It's I'm so excited. It's crazy. So that is Raw and Smackdown in the next few weeks. Really looking forward to that. So I'm going to be live streaming those shows as much as possible. But I do have a newborn June 2 weeks from today. So we'll see how that plays out. Acknowledge the new one coming. Right, let's talk about Raw. Let's start off with the big news in the main event. We had CM Punk versus Seth Rollins in a cage match on Monday Night Raw in Madison Square Garden. Now, on the chat that we have, there were some quite unhappy people about how this event played out. And I know Alex is desperate to talk about it, so I'm going to come to you first, Alex. Tell us your thoughts of this match.
It's like they've been watching AEW. It was finisher and kick out, finisher and kick out, 2 finishers and a kick out, finisher and a kick out, and then a schmoz finish.
Super stomps and
I just, it's like, I'm sorry, no one should kick out of a super stomp, especially a 44-year-old man who shouldn't be around anymore because he's a prick. And it was just so overdone, because it was, up until that point, a really, really good match. And I was really enjoying it. I was really enjoying the narrative. It was going in all the right directions. And if at the super stomp, he then rested and then Reigns pulled him out, perfect finish. But they just did. I like it when they do each other's moves. That's fine. I have no issue. And I have no issue with somebody kicking out when they've had their own move done on them. I have no issue with that. But it was just over and over again, and false finish after false finish. And it just means, it feeds fire to anything like The Undertaker says on his podcast, which is finishes don't mean anything anymore. They're called a finisher for a reason. And it just really peed me off, because it ruined, for me, because I was already pissed off by this point, when Roman Reigns returned. And it was a good return. It made sense. It's given us, obviously, our 3-way for WrestleMania, which I actually really want to happen. There's been lots of people crapping on that as a match, and I don't mind it. It's going to be an absolute brawl. It will obviously be a no deal. Triple threats are no DQs. I feel like there'll be some sort of stipulation, because it seems like every CM Punk match gets a stipulation. I think he's had 11 matches in WWE, and 9 of them have all had stipulations, which is great, because I love a stipulation match. But they just overbeat the eggs and ruined it right towards the end.
I can understand that. I think, when you go through 1 or 2, I would say the maximum you really can afford on a finisher is 1 kick out of a finisher. And then when you go to the super version of that finisher, that should put you away. You might be able to get a stretch at 2, but I think Punk did at least 4 go to sleeps or something like that. And that's just far too many. And you understand that these guys are battling and fighting, but then don't use those same moves to try and put them away. It did feel like they were running out of ideas, but if you're running out of ideas, maybe you could play a different narrative that get more aggressive, use the cage more. There was other things that potentially they could have done to kind of force the pinfall. Sam, what was your thoughts?
Very hard to put anything extra on that, because that pretty much is my thought process. I have first of all, they're not called finishers, they're signature moves.
They are
They
signature.
purposely make sure they're called signature moves now.
No, that's rubbish. If you've played any WWE game, there are signatures and there are finishers. I think Seth Rollins' signature is the buckle bomb, and his finisher is the stomp. No, I think it's the pedigree is his signature, and his finisher is the stomp. Don't test me on that. You lose.
2K is not WWE.
They're called finishers.
That years ago.
Undertaker says it's finishers. I believe in the Undertaker.
But in terms of WWE programming, they never refer to them as finishers.
Never have, and it's.
But they don't refer to them as signatures either.
No,
They
that's
don't.
true. But it's a real problem right now of kicking out of finishes, because what you've just said is running out of ideas is exactly what it feels like to me. I don't like it full stop. save it for big moments, save it for big matches.
Yeah,
I just
big
think-
PLEs. Yeah.
Like I blame WrestleMania 17. I blame that. I think it's been a problem since that moment because they kicked out of everything at WrestleMania 17, and then that just became the norm. And then Undertaker matches made it worse.
Was that the Rock and Stone Cold?
Rock and Austin did it so much, and there was others that night as well.
But when Taker and Michaels did it, no one had really kicked out of a tombstone in all those years up until that point, and it worked for the story.
Yeah.
But now it's like
saving the music match.
Yeah. Any cover now you don't think is actually going to be it. So you're waiting for a kick out.
I think Brock Lesnar matches ruined that because people would basically start a match against Brock Lesnar with finishes. I think that the loss to Seth Rollins and the loss to Drew McIntyre were basically the same match, where it was just finisher, pin.
But watching finisher kickouts isn't actually exciting because the problem we've run into right now, and AEW have this same problem, is it pops the crowd live. And that's the problem with high spots. It's the problem with these very, very mundane kick-out finishers, is the crowd will react because they're live. It's like a cash-in. The crowd respond because they're there. But at home, you've seen it. You've seen it again. And it doesn't look the same because you're not watching someone do a 630 from the top rope. You're just watching it because it's, on a small screen. So having them kick out over and over again, it actually became laughable by the end. It was funny. I genuinely was laughing that they were kicking out, and I shouldn't be laughing at a blood feud in a cage. The finish was fantastic. Roman Reigns getting involved, that was great. I was poo-pooing the triple threat. I wasn't involved. I hated it. I don't like title or triple threats. There's no point. But then him getting angry with Paul Heyman, that's beautiful. That put me involved immediately. I went, okay, you've sold me. You've won me round. That's genius. What was Paul doing? Am I watching a soap?
He was just giving Punk a cuddle. Bless him. I haven't seen him in a while. I'll give him a little cuddle.
Cage match. He wasn't there at the end of Hell in a Cell. He couldn't walk. It's just a little cage. He was in War Games and Chamber about a week.
Yeah, but like you say, Roman's facial reaction to that, just like, nah, not my wise man, bro. And yeah, that was beautiful, beautiful.
Paul Heyman on a pole match.
But I do have one more annoyance about that main event, and sadly, it had nothing to do with actually Raw. It was to do with being on Twitter, and suddenly every man and his dog comparing it to the Ospreay Fletcher match over and over and over again, and talking about how, oh, look at this suplex from the top. That's nothing like a Spanish fly. And I'm just like, literally a match that I hated anyway. Suddenly, I was almost defending because they were comparing it to a match with two people who are 31 and 26 going out there on a pay-per-view, their second biggest pay-per-view, versus two people on Raw with a screwy finish. They're not the two with a 40-year-old man and a man who might as well be 40. So I hated the match and then hated it even more post it. Thanks, Twitter.
The one thing that you talk about superplexes and things like that. Oh, superplex off the cage. It wasn't a superplex off the cage. It was a normal superplex. It was just happened that he started resting up against the cage. It's still the same height. There's no difference there.
Yeah.
On Will Ospreay.
You don't need to take a suplex off the cage because the crowd popped anyway. You don't need to do a Spanish fly. Apparently, just do that and the crowd will respond because you built up to that point a lovely narrative. You don't need to hit each other with barbed wire and thumbtacks if you've built a narrative. However, they then forgot that they had a narrative and decided to kick out of 113 finishes.
On Will Ospreay, just a slight small tangent. I haven't seen the match you're talking about. However, I did listen to the Will Ospreay CVV interview, and he's mental. And I have no interaction with Ospreay apart from a couple of clips that I've seen. But my God, that was an hour and a half of ADHD. And I fucking loved it. So once you have finished listening to this podcast, if you want to laugh for an hour and a half, go and listen to Will Ospreay versus CVV. It was brilliant.
Got him demonetized, I think, because he swore that much. They had to put it like behind a paywall.
He said the C word multiple times.
Oh wow, okay.
And I don't have an issue with the C word, but I still wouldn't say it on here.
No, exactly that. Lee, what were your thoughts of the main event and Roman Reigns' return?
I won't use the C word. I can't really add much more than what Sam and Alex have added. Really, I audibly, and this doesn't happen often, was watching that match, and at one point went, "This is ridiculous. This is stupid
Right.
now." And my wife was like, "What are you watching?" I was like, "Rollins Punk in a cage." Yeah, I love a finisher, and I wish finishers were more protected.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll talk about the Bailey Raquel match, I'm sure, but I was really happy when Raquel won a powerbomb straight away. I was like, fine.
Yeah, exactly that.
That makes-
Gunther,
Yeah,
he hits a power bomb. It doesn't look anything special, but he puts them away. 9 times out of 10. So, yeah.
but no,
right.
what Sam said as well about the triple threat. I was on Team Sam. I wasn't bought in at all. I thought this is just a match, putting 3 people on a pay-per-view for the sake of it. I'm in. I'm bought in now. The wise man. The wise man.
That that's it. That was the saving grace of that, because they did push the narrative forward, and you wondered how Punk necessarily fit in, because I think a lot of us would have just fine with a Roman Reigns and Seth Rollins match, just the two of them. But the way they've incorporated Punk and Heyman, it works, and yeah, we're bought in now. So we'll see how that builds over the next few weeks.
We just get a Shield reunion and watch them beat the shit out of Punk.
I don't need mocks, thank you.
Yeah, no, I'm
Agreed.
Box.
No.
Right. Cody Rhodes was on both SmackDown and Raw this last week, and I don't remember much about anything that he said. I thought they
He said the same thing twice.
Yeah, I thought they were very average promos.
Say everything twice. Say everything twice.
Yeah. He was doing a recap on Raw of what happened on SmackDown. We were talking about recaps, and it just felt like if you didn't tune into SmackDown, I'm unhappy with Cena, and but nothing stuck. No, you know what I mean? No moment, no phrase.
Apart
really
from his
stuck.
black eye.
Well, yeah, exactly. Yeah, I was really disappointed. They did mention that John Cena is going to be in Brussels next week for Raw, with his red merchandise now. It's still like the Happy Cena, but it's just red. So I don't know if that's supposed to be heel Cena or if it's just red or burgundy because of Belgium and the football colors. But they've said Cena and Cody Rhodes under the same roof, not face to face, under the same roof. So I'm guessing it's going to be one person in the ring, another person on the screen, whether they're actually there or just in the back. We're not going to have the face-to-face just yet. So, yeah, Lee, thoughts on the Cody Rhodes promos? Took anything away from it?
Nothing. Less is more with Mr. Rhodes. I would have preferred him. He took a hell of a kick in at Elimination Chamber. I would have preferred him to stay off TV for a little bit and sell that. Yeah. Possibly that little appearance on SmackDown was enough, but he just says the same thing. We get it, Cody. You're champ. You're the man. Cena ain't gonna beat you. It's
too early to be doing that when we've got so many weeks ahead of WrestleMania to be coming out twice in a week saying that.
Yeah.
Alex, go ahead.
He doesn't sell anything. Anything that ever happens to him, he never sells. He got package power driver. He was back on the phone, didn't even have a neck brace on. He was back on the following week. He's been absolutely demolished by The Rock and Cena and Travis Scott. And he's back twice. Why is he on SmackDown and Raw? He is SmackDown's champion.
Yeah.
You do not need you repeating yourself on Raw. Then it's not even like WWE are desperate for numbers. They're doing the best numbers and the best ticket sales they've ever done. They don't need Cody for that.
No,
You know,
and you're taking away the time from Gunther.
Gunther. I mean, Gunther has been done so dirty, and I'm sure we'll get to Gunther later, but I just don't get it. And it was, and I know I joked about it at the beginning of the show, but I don't need. We all watched Elimination Chamber. Okay, if you missed Elimination Chamber, they can give you a recap on Monday. It's been 2 weeks. I don't need constant recaps all the way through SmackDown, all the way through Raw. Okay, that image of Rock and Cena next to each other with Cena's foot on Cody's head is a hell of an image, and I get that, and that's an iconic image that will be iconic for the rest of time. But we all know what happened, and this is my issue at the moment I have with Netflix. being on Netflix hasn't given us any more content. We get some really crap fluff interviews that often get cut short because it goes into some sort of other weird advert. If you haven't got the top tier of Netflix and you're on a device rather than your telly, you can't skip the ads on. So you can't skip the little thing they've got on Smack.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah. So if I'm on my phone, I haven't got don't get me started with Sky and how they've messed up my Netflix subscription. That's a personal thing that I'm not going to get into. But I can't skip it and it drives me insane. So I have to sit there for 3 minutes listening to the stupid song while it goes on.
Oh,
But
yeah, I couldn't be dealing with that.
the whole point of the going to 3 hours on Sam did the action. The whole point of going to 3 hours was supposed to give us more content. Not the odd in a different position interview with Jackie Redmond. That's not really more content. That's filler.
Mm-hmm.
Give me more matches. Give me more decent storylines. Where's Karrion Kross gone?
Mm-hmm.
You know, I've got some cool stuff about Karrion Kross as well, but it's just, Smack. I'm a bit annoyed. How good the overall storytelling is being, some of the way we've got there isn't great.
Yeah. Someone made a reference on Twitter, which Karen Cross referenced, said, "You've got it." He's shadowing the person that he is trying to influence. So like Sami Zayn, where he often had his hair up in a knot, and he did the same. This week, Aaron had his hair down, really lush, brushed, because he was with AJ Styles, and he's mimicking the person that he's trying to influence. And somebody spotted it and posted it, and he was like, "Yeah, you've got it." And I was like,
We have the same Netflix. We have the same X feed.
yeah, looks like it.
It's lucky that he's not having to follow around like Stone Cold Steve Austin.
It's true.
That would ruin the gimmick really fast.
He'd go for it. I tell you, he'd go for it. He'd shave it. He'd take it off.
Old cap, would it? Like a swimming costume.
But bearing in mind, they're giving him fuck all, right? They're giving him nothing, but he is doing stuff with the nothing that he could be such a star.
He's doing stuff. He's liked my comments on Twitter. That's what he's doing.
Yeah, but you're not going to get an angle with him, Sam.
No, do you know what? No one else is. I might as well fill the void.
Go for it. Go.
That's what I mean. Is I've seen some of his NXT stuff. You know, first of all, the guy's jacked as hell. I can't understand why he's a big guy as well. You know, he's good in the ring from what I understand. I haven't seen too many of his matches, but he's good enough to be a big guy in the ring. He's compelling to watch. You know, the whole Scarlet thing is spooky wooky, and we like a bit of spooky wooky, but they just don't seem to know what to do with him.
It's a weird Triple H thing that I'm all in favor for and hate. He's keeping things really fluid, which is really good. It's like under the Vince thing, it was, let's say AJ Styles was feuding with whoever, Ricochet. They weren't allowed to talk to anybody else. Yeah. You were in the same segment with each other every week. Don't you dare talk about anybody else. Don't you dare walk past anyone. And they had to face each other. They were allowed maybe a tag. But by the time they got to pay-per-view, they'd already faced 5 times and had 1 promo. Now, everyone is talking about other people. It feels like the 80s again, and everyone mentioning Hogan, even though they're not in a feud with Hogan. Because everyone was talking about Cena in that first week. It was really good. Yeah. Karrion Kross he was around AJ Styles, but he's also around Sami Zayn. But the reason I hate it is because it's like, okay, could you now pick a direction and go with the fluidness? Yeah. And that seems to be the issue. So, like, a lot of people were complaining about WrestleMania's bill being rubbish. And I was like, guys, it's got 12 weeks to go, you know, calm it down, whatever. Suddenly there's 6 weeks to go, and suddenly we've got direction, and we pretty much know 8 of the matches probably going in. We probably guess 9, 10, 11. That's excellent. But then you've got some other people, such as a Karrion Kross, they're going, are you going to have a match? Or are you just going to wander around putting your hair in ponytails, going near Candice LeRae and having a chat? I mean, what is the plan? Is Sami Zayn going to be there? AJ Styles is feuding with Logan Paul. No point having a chat with him, mate. He ain't going to go anywhere near you. He's got a bigger match to deal with. So what is the plan with some of these people? But if there is no plan in terms of they're not going to have a WrestleMania match, I'm also happy for them to be on telly and to entertain you. And they could build something else. So I'm happy with the fluidness because I think we're just not used to it. We're not used to people doing something and nothing at the same time. Whereas if you weren't doing anything, you were at home.
Yeah,
so
that's true.
I'm going to give it the benefit of the doubt and go, this is a new approach. It's a modern approach. And we have been Vincentismed into death. And we've got to get used to.
Yeah. Let's see where it takes us. Yeah, definitely. That's a really good shout. Really good shout. Right, let's move on. We have a new WWE United States champion, and his name is L.A. Knight. Yeah.
Yeah.
Two-time champ now. He beat Shinsuke Nakamura in the main event of SmackDown this last week. Although he cheated. BST onto the chair. But yeah, he's champion. Shinsuke, he is a talented wrestler. This was not a good run. I enjoyed the promos that he did regarding the video packages and stuff like that. But in the ring, it just wasn't working. Just something is missing. I love his character on the return. He's menacing. He's the new Chew was brilliant. Just something didn't work this time, and not entirely sure what it is. But LA Knight, it's in decent hands. He'll be on TV every week. He'll do some potentially open challenges and have some more matches. So I can't really complain about that. Lee, Shinsuke is your boy. So how do you feel about Shinsuke losing the title and his title run?
It was poor. It was poor. But I don't know what it is about mid-card titles that WWE seem to hate, that as soon as you're a mid-card champion, you're off telly. You're out of...
You don't fight, you're off TV.
Yeah. I nearly fell off my chair when I heard we were getting an IC title match next week. What?
Yeah.
What's the... Shinsuke is phenomenal, and he went to WrestleMania 37 and never came back. It was... Yeah, he never recovered from that AJ feud. I put in the group, I've read in the dirt sheets, I think his contract's up, and I don't believe he's going to be signing, which I'm gutted about because he is one of my favourite wrestlers.
Yeah, because he was off TV for a long time. I know he's doing house shows and stuff, and obviously came back with his new persona, won the championship really quickly, held on to it. When did he win it? Was it SummerSlam? Or... trying to think, or Survivor Series, something like that.
Around that,
yeah, Survivor Series.
Is it Bad Blood? No, it was Survivor Series. Yeah, right.
Yeah, and it's just like you say, he's just been missing kind of off TV. Maybe he's been doing the house shows and stuff like that, but yeah, maybe that it was his last time with that little push before he exits the door. Alex, go ahead.
The problem with Shinsuke Nakamura, not his fault. It's just the problem is if you've got someone whose English isn't great, and they can't cut a decent promo in the ring, and you've got to deal with it all in vignettes and subtitles, it makes it really difficult to push them.
Yeah.
Because, you want to watch a person talk and pull off a captivating promo in the ring. And when you have a language barrier, it's really difficult to do. That's going to be Io Sky's difficulty. She's flavor of the month at the moment because she's a fucking phenomenal in-ring talent. But like we saw between Rhea and Bianca with her, she literally physically got pushed aside because she can't compete with those two
with the voice
in a promo battle. So she has to be left to the whole thing of the bullied kid at the side, which is a shit way to portray your champion.
Yeah,
I'd argue she's better at promo than Rhea.
Well, yeah, that's an argument there.
I like
Rhea is a bad promo. I don't know where all of a sudden this has come from. Especially because her promo backstage last week was brilliant.
Ugh.
That was beautiful, but then she came out a completely different person again this week on Raw. She came out with the attitude again, not the defeated thing, and she started mouthing off at Bianca again, just like, why were you out there? You just admitted it wasn't her fault. You were blaming yourself, and now you're blaming the other person again. It was completely off what that was, and it didn't make sense to me. It's like, why were you not that character? That I bought, that I believed in. This is just you mouthing off again as, Wonder Woman.
Yeah, and the thing is as well, is it's like, of all the things they fucking recapped on Raw, why didn't they recap that promo? Because it's a perfect opportunity to go, we'll cut now to what Rhea was like directly after the match. It would have been perfect. And then you lead into her being like, self-deprecating, but I want to make it up and get back into the thing. But the problem is, did you hear the pop she got?
Oh yeah, no doubt.
She's still so over, and you can't be the self-deprecating babyface and get that kind of a pop. You have to be the badass.
Sam, this has got to go into a triple threat, right?
Most likely. I don't know how you technically get there, because otherwise you're kind of going against the formatting of Winning Chamber, and we don't have rematch clauses anymore. So it literally has to be fighting champion. That's the only way. EO going, right, come on, you can be in this match as well. But you know what? While that is gone, let's play a little game. Who's had more matches on Raw and or SmackDown than 2025? Nakamura or Bron Breakker?
Ooh. More matches.
Singles matches on Raw or SmackDown.
I'd probably go Bron, but not by
Bron
much.
in 2025 has had one singles match on Raw. It was a 3-minute DQ against Dominic. He had a match at Stand Up Main Event against Sheamus. His last match on Raw that was an actual match was in December 14th or 16th, that sort of neck of the woods, when he defended the title.
That's shameful.
Hasn't been on TV, hasn't had a match. Literally, his matches in 2025 are 3, the Royal Rumble. Then you've got his Saturday Night's Main Event against Sheamus. And then his match against Dominic that was 3 minutes DQ.
Yeah.
Nakamura has had more matches on SmackDown or Raw than Bron Breakker. He had a title defense somewhere. I think it was against LA Knight and lost it and won. And then his title defense on SmackDown.
Yeah.
So that's how bad the mid card is. Where were you saying how bad Nakamura's reign was? Not gonna lie, I would argue Bron Breakker's is technically worse. It hurts me to say.
Non-existent.
That's what we were just saying.
Yeah, it's really shocking, and the fact that he's such a powerhouse and he's decent on the mic. There's no issues there, but they keep shifting his focus. So it was Dominic. He's had Kaiser, he's had
AJ.
Dominic, he's had AJ, and then now it's Finn, and it's just like they couldn't seem to decide who he's actually going to have a match against. And
There's a few wrestlers that I think Triple H is protecting in terms of not necessarily taking losses, but from facing too many people to keep them special. There's 3 in my mind. How many matches has Rhea had? I think she's had more matches in 2025 than she did in the entirety of 2024, which is already baffling. Gunther, I think they're keeping off, because name a big star that Gunther has faced. He hasn't faced anyone that you would classify as a big star in his world heavyweight title. They are keeping him, they're protecting him from big matches so they can sell them maybe later.
So they could lose at Mania.
Randy is literally the biggest star. That's the only one I had in my head, really. To be honest, that wasn't meant to happen because that was a botching King of the Ring. I'm pretty certain the botching King of the Ring didn't happen. That match probably wouldn't have happened either. And I think they're probably protecting Bron Breakker in the same principle, because how many mid-carders are there? Bron could probably kill them in a month and then they're done. So he's probably going, let's just not have him face. And we're going for the Intercontinental, now you face him. It was the same for Rhea. You're the women's champion, don't face anybody, now you defend the title. It feels like the champions aren't having matches. Gunther has 2 matches in 2 weeks. Oh, look, everyone's really happy and delighted, and it worked on a character level for him. Even if it wasn't that great.
Yeah. Do we think they're overprotecting him leading into WrestleMania? Do we think it plays into that just so we don't get any injuries?
Gunther?
Any of them?
100% Gunther's being protected, yeah. Yeah.
I always forget about the concept of don't get injured before WrestleMania, and then they keep putting Punk in like stipulation matches. The man who's made of glass.
Well, it's like he's not in the main event. If he's there, he's there. If he's not, he's not. It's fine.
To be fair, Roman and Rollins is compelling on its own anyway.
But this is my biggest grop, and it's going to link on what Alex was saying about Raw being fluff. It's not fluff that's the problem, because I actually really like the Kathy Kelly interviews and stuff like that, because it's people who never got a chance to chat. We got to hear from our women's Intercontinental Champion, and I now understand why we didn't. She can't talk.
Oh my God, I was so uninspired.
I want her to lose next week. She needs to lose. That title.
At least she addressed losing to Bayley.
Yes.
She did address that. That was the only good thing in that whole promo. Otherwise, it was trash.
But the problem I had is we had 4 matches, 2.5 hours, and you had 4 matches. Forget the fact that we had 4. That was it. 4 on Raw. I'd watched the first match. I think I'd made lunch. I went to the loo, came back, and Connie was letting it go, and I went, have we actually not had a match yet? And I was thinking about it, oh, we actually hadn't. They had the AJ Styles Logan Paul thing, then they had another recap, then we had a Judgment Day thing backstage, and they were constant. And I was like, oh, we haven't got any matches here. And I know at WrestleMania season we do more talking than matches because that's kind of the point to build and you are protecting people. But this was extreme. People went, I can't believe there's only 1 women's match on Raw. And I went, there's only 4 matches in general. I'd complain about that first before you go anywhere near who's had what match or whatever.
The AJ Logan Paul thing was good, though.
That sucked.
I enjoyed it. I had fun. I like that comedian. What's his name? I've forgotten his name now. I thought it was good fun. I thought it was good fun. I like Logan Paul. I know that Lee hates Logan Paul.
It was right on my list of things to talk about. Andrew Schultz and AJ Styles.
Andrew Schultz, that was it.
And, Logan
It
Paul.
worked. It's getting the fans involved. It's getting the crowd involved. Everyone likes Andrew Schultz. However, again, the biggest pop of the night went to Macaulay fucking Culkin.
Yes, legend.
I don't get it. It's so funny though.
You know what?
No, I quite enjoyed that, and I'm looking forward to AJ kicking the shit out of Logan Paul. There's no way Logan Paul's winning that match.
Logan Paul is jury duty. Someone has to face him at WrestleMania. It's jury duty. Who gets stuck with Logan Paul? And they've gone, oh, AJ, you can have him. I don't care. Go away. No one's interested. Let's go away, heat.
He's the new Shane McMahon. Shane McMahon used to have a Mania match, and now we've got Logan Paul now.
That's it. Well played. Well said. Let's touch on a few other things. So we've spoken about Bianca Belair and Sky and Rhea. A little bit of a face off in the ring, but it didn't lead to much. Sky came out slapping them both and was just walking out. Don't disrespect me, I'm the champion. And I can imagine it's going to be a case of Rhea gave Sky another shot at the title. And so maybe it's going to be a case of Sky and Bianca Belair both agreeing to allow Rhea to be part of the match. I can't see them any other way of doing that without it taking away everything from Elimination Chamber and all that kind of stuff. So we'll have to see what happens there. Let's talk about the other face-off on SmackDown, Bianca Belair and Naomi.
That was awful.
It was I did it for The Rock. I mean, sorry, I did it for you, Bianca. It was very Sunset Beach. It was very, very over the top soap opera stuff. It was it wasn't great. But obviously Jade come out in the end and beat down Naomi, and Bianca's just kind of washing her hands of it a little bit, like, I'm not going to get involved. So we imagine it's going to be a Naomi and Jade match at Mania. But yeah, I don't know. I enjoyed the segment in the Elimination Chamber, which I thought was great. I don't know if this segment maybe just went on a bit too long.
Too long, too much fake bad crying.
Yeah.
All right.
And talking over one another. It gave me HR nightmares trying to mediate stuff. I've been in those meetings, and you're like, what are you saying?
Yeah, she referred to her as Trinity as well, didn't she?
Yeah.
Try to keep it real.
It got real.
It got real.
It's one of those ones for me, right? When I'm a professionally trained actor, technically, darling. They're just darlings. I have a degree in acting. But when it comes to wrestling, I don't critique it from an acting standpoint. They're not actors and stuff like that. However, you created a dramatic scene. So if you're going to do a dramatic scene, you have to sell it. Think Mark Henry's retirement speech, for example. What a world-class bit of acting. And I blame more Bianca than Naomi here a little bit. I love Bianca in the ring. I think we all love Bianca in the ring. I think we love her as an aura. I think we love her as a character. But as a promo, genuinely, she's really bad. She sounds really fake. And this, I was analysing it with an actor's brain, because people who don't know acting were going, oh, no, I thought it was fine. I thought it was good. It showed the characters. But Bianca would be going okay. But it'd be the same intonation all the way through. It wasn't okay. It wasn't getting angry or upset. And outside of Naomi's tier, it just felt like two people improvising a drama scene without a script. It, we were all just getting to the point of Naomi saying, "Yeah, I did it." Why couldn't she just walk down and like, "Yeah, bloody did it"? Like just
Yeah,
immediately. Did we have to do fake crying and all this stuff first? Why was Jade waiting? What was she doing backstage? Just going, "Oh my God, guys are out there! Oh, jam! I better go beat up Naomi back in 2. What was she doing?" For me, I genuinely thought this actually puts the feud backwards slightly because I still think it was the best moment of Elimination Chamber.
Yeah.
Yeah, I include
Great.
the thing at the end. I think this was better, but yeah, this sucked. This
Okay.
this is
Any other thoughts on Bianca and Naomi before we move on? No, we're good. All right,
Turn Bianca heel. Heel Bianca
yes.
is
Yes.
fantastic. I know she pops the kids, but turn her heel.
All right.
Has she ever been heel?
In NXT, yeah, she was
And how was she in NXT as a heel?
brilliant.
Yeah?
Had
Okay,
some
cool.
cracking feuds with Rhea. It was really
Okay.
good.
What else we had? We had Jey Uso defeating Grayson Waller. Then they tried to beat down at the end. He overcame him, and Gunther came out and put Jey to sleep again for the second week in a row.
And Sam, seemingly.
Yeah, it's not really moving the feud forward, is it? It felt like he picked Gunther too early. I would have rather them keep it guessing, but then because
they
of where
had to.
Elimination Chamber came, but haven't both? You could have had someone win Elimination Chamber, and because the other person hasn't picked their opponent, the other person still doesn't know who they're facing. So you could have had both of them not knowing who they're facing. But with the story of Cena and how that's going to play out, obviously this is the direction they decided to go, and it is what it is. But it does feel like it peaked too early, and now you just haven't really got. Gunther was good a couple of weeks ago when he was out in the crowd and doing the fake, his Jey Uso's entrance, stuff like that. That was good. But then the last couple of weeks, he's just kind of putting him to sleep. Jay's not really getting, again, Jay's not on the mic. And I need to hear more from him, and yeah. Any other thoughts on Jay and Gunther?
I feel like this would have worked if we still had Imperium and Jay was still in the bloodline. Because then you've got matches you can do and tag matches you can do and other things that can get involved.
Yeah.
But you can't just have two people going off against each other with basically one guy getting the better, especially because we now know exactly what's going to happen at Mania.
I thought the story was going to be because Gunther went, "Don't pick me because you're not essentially on my level." And I thought the story was going to be Jay proving he was on his level by winning matches, proving he was main event, taking on people, winning matches, and Gunther attacking him because it was like, "I'm going to make you hell," or costing him matches. And I thought that was the way we go. Here it feels like they went, "Oh, we've got them set up now. You're not my time. You're not worth my time." And then that's it. The attacking every week. Who cares if you get an attack every week? It doesn't matter. But what more annoyed me was Jay coming out every week doing his weird walk thing from the ramp. When you're like, aren't you meant to be defending Tozawa? Like, get there. Help him out. He's been powerbombed. Do it. No, got to do my weird,
Do my slow way
run. Yeah. Have Jay win matches, proving he's good.
Why the hell is the Royal Rumble winner aligned with the two biggest jobbers on the roster?
Yeah.
What the fuck is that about?
Yeah.
They're like, "Oh, we got your back, mate. Oh, cheers, boys." Yeah.
It doesn't matter if you have my back. You can't do anything. It means nothing. And, having Gunther face them, I can understand Gunther coming from a power play, giving people he knows he can beat, shots. It would have made more sense for him to actually be title matches. It's like Open Championship. Come on. I'll just take anybody out, really proving his superiority as opposed to just having those matches. But the fact that he did, you don't have to have Jey Uso coming out and defending them. He could just beat them and then that's it. Jay should be like, I can't afford to necessarily get involved in these, or, biding his time. I think it, like Sam said, either needs to go two ways. It either needed to be Jay getting on a hot streak and Gunther becoming worried because of the momentum Jay is building, or he keeps getting beat every week, losing every week to totally take away his momentum. So by the time WrestleMania comes, he's like, "Oos, I can't do this." But it doesn't matter what happens to him. He's like, "I'm still going to beat him at WrestleMania." It's not the right balance. So, yeah.
That's rubbish.
It is a bit rubbish at the moment. What else? We had Randy Orton. He came out and made some remarks about John Cena being the bottom in the relationship with The Rock. He went on to say that both he and Kevin Owens have done despicable things. They've crossed lines in the name of business, and he respects Kevin Owens as a wrestler, but not the man. And KO has gone and pissed Randy Orton off, and now Randy has started hearing the voices in his head and wants to punt KO in the head. Fairly decent promo. I like the fact that KO wasn't there. We need to have KO on next week without Randy there potentially, and just maybe, actually KO can just do it from the car. That's where he cuts his best promos from the
Randy's
car.
taken on Mello.
Yes, that's it. Randy versus Mello next week. So, this can be a nice slow build, and it's again WrestleMania match. What kind of match do you think they're going to have in there? What kind of stipulation do you think we might have between those two? Just a no DQ?
It's WrestleMania. It'll be a straight match.
Pile
you
driver
reckon?
versus punt.
Maybe it's kind of the banned move: no pile drivers, no punts.
Maybe.
Or you get
Squad.
Pod. Yeah, I don't know. But, I mean, Kevin Owens has been through a lot of those. He's had a lot of matches. He's had the unsanctioned street fight. He's been good. He's been going through it lately. So
This will be a straight wrestling match because they're going to do 2 or 3. Is what my thought process. They'll build up big matches. This will be a straight wrestling match that will end with probably KO going over. Weirdly, I think, and then they'll build. Or no, sorry, Randy going over so that KO can go. And beat him up, attack him after the match, and then they'll have a street fight or no holds barred at whatever the next pay per view is. Like, I can't see him not having a straight wrestling match. He's had so many like ladders and no DQs recently. Is that the only match Kevin can do now? He's so angry. He has weapons now in every match. Like, I thought this promo sucked, by the way. I thought this was rubbish. First of all, the crowd are awful. What a terrible SmackDown crowd. You think you're going to be in the was it Philly? They were in Philly, weren't they? That wasn't the ECW crowd, was it? They were silent, but him making those remarks into 2025, it was pathetic. I was switched off immediately after he started speaking. I like the wrestler, respect the wrestler, not the man, but I thought this was awful. And I hate
it didn't start well. Not at all. No. Any other thoughts on Randy Orton and Kevin Owens?
I think it's going to be I think it'll be the match of Mania.
Oh, really? In terms of the actual match? Okay.
Yeah, I think they'll put on an absolute clinic.
Okay.
The 2 of the best in the business.
Yeah, I think the match will be solid. Oh, definitely. We had a cracker of a match: The New Day versus Dragon Lee and Rey Mysterio in a tornado tag team match. And
My favorite type of tag match.
Yeah, this was really great. Lots of action, everything going on at the same time. But just as Lee and Mysterio were gathering momentum, a mysterious masked assailant interfered from out of the crowd, allowing the New Day to take control. So Wuggs and Kingston then hit an assisted stomp to beat the LWO. Thoughts on the match, and who is this mysterious stranger? Well, we presumed it was Chad Gable, but obviously that interview at the end showed that this other guy got taken out by security, so it can't be him. So
it's Mr. America. Come on, guys. He's returned 22 years later. It's Mr. America. He told it. It's American made. It's obvious. It's the same.
You do shrink when you're getting older. So yeah, maybe he has gone from 6'7" to 5'8", but sure.
I think we can recreate the lie detector that they did on SmackDown in 2003.
Yeah.
I was going to attack Rey Mysterio. Have you been looking at Tori Wilson's Playboy magazine? I'm sure we can recreate it. I'm sure we can do it.
Yeah, it was a great match. It was a great segment. I love the backstage segment with the guy being taken out by security. I thought it was absolutely brilliant. Well, so was it the thing in the box with the mask? So we're presuming the mask was in the box, right?
I hope not. That's a bit shit. But I was so frustrated when Chad Gable came out and gave the German suplex outside, and Cole simulated to who it was going to be.
Pat was like, I don't know what you're talking about.
And Pat was like, I don't know what you're talking about. And it annoyed me at the time. But then the backstage segment, I'm like, okay, that's really funny. Yeah. It's absolutely brilliant. And that is just kind of the things they did. I'm very looking forward to where that's going. But I think we're now pretty certain it's not Aleister Black, is it?
No, doesn't seem to be going that way at all.
It would be a bit more serious if it was Aleister Black.
Yes.
The highlight of that match for me was Pat's rant about his coffee. He was just livid. Absolutely livid.
I think Kofi posted something on Twitter about it as well, and it was just like, it's no good for you anyway, or something like that. So
I love the New Day at the moment.
Yeah.
I absolutely love them. I think they're doing such a good job as shit heels. I think
Yeah,
they're doing such a good job.
they are. I just want to keep seeing them win now. They should be winning every week.
Absolutely.
Just keep
If
them
we
winning, keep them winning.
win the titles,
Yes.
everything. Give them everything. Give them all the
Yeah.
gold.
Yeah.
Could someone give
Definitely.
Chad Gable a hug? Could someone give that man a hug? He does everything he's asked of him. Literally
100%.
everything.
One of the most talented people on the roster. In the ring, on the mic, he's just superb, and he's not given the respect that I think.
I really hope he gets a WrestleMania moment this year because,
I don't
you know,
know
Sam.
the card.
Well, this is the thing, because like Sammy ended up being the one to dethrone Gunther at WrestleMania. Do you know what I mean? Is everyone wanted it to be Chad, and it should have been. Obviously, this is where we've got the heel Chad, but I don't know. This guy deserves something, man. I just really hope they put a title on him soon. He's just so good.
There are
Um,
very few wrestlers who I think would succeed more in AEW than WWE in terms of going that way, and I think he probably would have been one of them solely because he would have got to wrestle every week.
Yeah.
I'm not saying AEW is better than WWE or they tell better stories or he would have been treated better because I don't think they've treated many people better unless you are a Hall of Famer in WWE and you're 50 years old. I think it's the rule. But I think the fact that he could have just wrestled every single week for 15 minutes
Yeah.
is better. And that's all you do with someone like Chad Gable. Just put him in the ring every week. This gimmick, as funny as it was, is also awful. Like, he's meant to be one of your best wrestlers, and you've now got him in a lucha mask. It's funny, but not Chad Gable.
I'm willing to give him the benefit of the doubt. And see where this goes.
Are we gonna have Luchador? Are we gonna have Luchador Chad versus Penta at WrestleMania? Is that what we're gonna get?
Could be a
'Cause I think that would
awesome
be
match.
amazing.
Do you know what? Ray Phoenix is suddenly the weird kind of caveat involved in all of this, and Rey Mysterio, because he's against luchas. Are we going to have 4 luchas versus American Made, and maybe an extra one? Is it 6-man tag? Are they get involved in the tag titles instead? Because I think the easiest thing to do would just be do like a fatal 4-way tag match, have the New Day, Rey Mysterio and Dragon Lee, and Chad Gable that get involved. But Chad Gable's not in that match either. It'd be these cronies behind him. So
Yeah.
I don't see how he fits on to Mania, and Penta's probably going to be in a more high-profile match, probably. But where does he fit in? Actually, to be fair,
I was thinking that.
yeah, IC big ladder IC match.
I think it maybe the IC title has to be a multi-person match, the ladder match or whatever it is, because that's the way you can get multiple people on the card. You can get Chad, Ludovic, Penta, Braun. You know, you get them all onto the card.
But how many multiple matches are we going to have? Because let's be honest, the SmackDown tag titles is the one that deserves the multi-man like ladder match because that's actually a really entertaining story. Then you've got the US titles got a few people, the men's US titles. Then you've got the men's IC hasn't got anybody, and we haven't even mentioned the women's US or the women's IC. So, and then Raw. Are we just going to have to accept that some of these titles are not going to be at WrestleMania?
Either that or
multi-mans.
Yeah, or how many multi-mans are we going to get? So, like, we could have a fatal 4-way for the US Championship: Carmelo Hayes and Andrade, LA Knight, and whoever else. Take your pick. But maybe this is a WrestleMania where you have multiple people rather than having this weird battle royal where you throw everybody else into it. Right, let's move on.
16 vibes.
Yeah,
There was a single match at WrestleMania 16, was there? It was all multi-man.
No, my matches. Yeah, could go that way. We had the WWE Women's Champion. Tiffany Stratton picked up another win over Piper Niven. Charlotte Flair came out and attacked Stratton afterwards, put her in a figure 8. It's, again, just Tiff is not the face that we need her to be right now. And this is falling a little bit flat. But then B-Fab had the gall to come out and say some words against Charlotte. And now we have a match between those two next week, and B-Fab is going to be put down. But
She's going to be annihilated.
Yeah, when she gets coming off thinking that she can defeat Charlotte, I do not know. But anyway, Tiffany Stratton, Charlotte. Any comments at this point?
It was what we got afterwards that I liked, was the fact that Piper was completely and utterly disheveled after being beaten up by Tiffany Stratton, and then had to be part of the Hervis with Chelsea Green. And then we got, as we predicted on this show, the new member of the Secret Hervis, which was not Isla Dawn, the other one.
Well, fire.
Alba
Alba Fire. I only remember Isla Dawn because my daughter is called Isla.
TikTok. We forgot which one it was.
Weird. I only remember Isla because it's my daughter's called Isla. I still haven't had the heart to tell my daughter, my 6-year-old, that her favorite wrestler, because she's got the same name, has left the WWE.
Isla Dawn's been having the time of her life at Disney. She's gone off to Disney, been posting loads of videos of her at Disneyland. She's having the best life right now.
All I'm going to say, if you want to come for the best predictions, come to this podcast, guys. You know, we've got it.
We've predicted loads of stuff, to be fair. You've done all right.
We're doing all right, maybe. Bring it over.
But yeah, Tiffany Stratton, I don't know.
It's the wrong character. She hasn't got the character right.
Nice.
She's great in the ring, but
It's going to be a good match.
as his option, of course it will be. It's got Charlotte Flair in it. It will definitely be a good match.
But yeah, it's just what
Jay
you care.
This is
Where
where
it is.
Jane Gunther.
It is.
Deborah Mitch never struggles. Why is the you know how much I hate Charlotte Flair, but why is the story not you're usurping me? I'm panicked. I want to get back to top of my throne. Why is it not panic? Why is it not worry that there's someone who's pretty much the same as her is taking her spot? But no, she just wanders in, no struggle, no fight. There's no predicament for her. It's like, oh no, I'm back at the top. And just attacking every week is the laziest writing. And I don't think Triple H is a lazy writer. I think he's suddenly there going, I don't really know what to do with this story. I've got 12 weeks. She won the Royal Rumble and they face at Mania. What do you
else
do?
is there? Yeah.
They're doing the right thing by putting her in the ring every week. That's the best way to make her a babyface, because that's the only babyface stuff she has. Is her in-ring work is very babyface and excellent. But then she talks and she sounds like the heelest of the heel and is as fake as Bianca Belair. This match, I'm hoping, is good. We actually don't know if Charlotte can put on a great match yet, guys. It's been 2 years. She hasn't had a singles match yet. Next week is her first singles match. It's been a long time since WrestleMania 39. Can she do the same level as she did 2 years ago? I assume so, but we don't know that yet. That does concern me.
Like you say, she's going to have some ring rust. She needs some matches now. She needs to be wrestling a few weeks now. And maybe that is what it'll be a case of. She'll start putting everybody away. And Tiffany will start realizing, wow, okay, she's at this level. I need to step up. Maybe that's how it's going to go. But moving on. Yes, boys. Pretty Deadly defeated Mostly Machine Guns and Los Garza to become the #1 contenders for the WWE Tag Team Championships. We love the Yes Boys on this show, don't we, boys?
We do.
Yes, boys.
Yes,
They are
boys.
finally getting the props they deserve, and it's nice to see. I haven't got much to say on it. It's just a case it's where I want it to be. I have no idea what Sam is trying to do. Sam's playing charades back there.
Nick Aldis. I don't care about any of the matches. I'm just dragged by Nick Aldis and his whiteboard.
He's doing the whiteboard.
Oh, that was funny. Oh, that was so. Forgot about that. That was really funny.
I thought that was great. That was the best.
It was very loud.
I want to see the outtakes from that. I want to see how many times it took him to get that right.
Consummate professional. He got one take. First time. Close a pen, throw a pen. He walked out. That's a take, lads. Consummate.
Unlike Nick.
Yeah. Raquel Rodriguez, we mentioned defeat Bailey to become #1 contender for the Intercontinental title. Great to see. No harm in her being double champion. Will that alter the relationship between her and Liv if she becomes double champion and Liv isn't? Maybe the power struggle there. That'd be interesting to see. But obviously she needed a little bit of help from Liv and Dom. I was going to say Dirty Dom, but actually the WWE website removed the gimmick monikers from a lot of their wrestlers. They've removed Freakin' from Seth, Dirty from Dom, and Big from Bronson Reed.
I have taken these names. I'm now Big Freaking Dirty Sam. That's what I am. It admittedly sounds like, you know, when you're a kid and you play like, what's your, stripper name? And you got to like give your street name.
You know what I mean, Trevor?
Straight at a pet, yeah.
So I am Big Freaking Dirty Sam. That's what it is. I've taken those. Thank you very much. I shall copyright that. Thank you.
That is a new Twitter handle right there.
That's
but
weird.
It is weird. I'd say maybe there's a new era. But who do we think could be the new member of the Judgment Day? They keep teasing this. Who would fit in to the Judgment Day?
Aleister Black.
That was my guess. That's all I've got. Is
Mm-hmm.
Finn gets usurped. Here's a new leader. But didn't we just have House of Black on AEW? And let's be honest, that failed and died a death. Like,
I
every
haven't seen
time they
any of
did
that.
anything. So, but who, like, generally, if it wasn't Aleister Black, who on the roster is left to do it? I kind of hope they just finish the Judgment Day, really.
What if
can't
Marion
remember-
came in and took over that faction?
Oh, he's already had 2 failed groups. How many more groups do you want him to fail in? They've been released. That's how badly it's gone.
By the way, the thing that I think I liked at the beginning of it is Carly still thinks he's a good guy. Did you not catch that at the very beginning? I can't remember exactly what he said, but he basically said, you know, I thought John Cena was going to stay a good guy all his career, like me.
Oh yes.
Like, yes, he's like a slightly less dumb R-Truth. We haven't heard from R-Truth yet.
We're only on socials.
I know. I want. If he wants to say AI,
The AI. It's not real. It's AI.
Can't judge the conclusions yet.
Yeah, I need Cena to be in the ring and R-Truth to turn up, and yeah, Cena to absolutely kill him.
Kill him. Yeah. Okay.
I'm gutted because in our predictions for 2025 on my channel, Baby Sam predicted that Cena and R-Truth would win the tag titles in 2025. And I've never wanted something more. Like, that's a genius way to waste a couple of months with Cena and get him face loads of people. But now this is better. But now, unless R-Truth turns heel and joins him and then become the 2-man power trip of old men who don't look as old as they should do, it's incredible.
The interesting thing about the turning heel stuff and the joining the dark side is what's going to happen at Mania, because who's going to come out and help Cody? Now, the child in me wants the glass to break, and for Stone Cold, who's going to be in Vegas, to come out. But imagine if he joins The Rock and Cena.
He has to say,
Imagine.
just had knee replacement surgery. I don't want to put a down.
He's fine now. He is Stone Cold Steve Austin. He is fine.
Do you know what I find the most fascinating thing about the Cena Hilton? Because I haven't been on since the Cena Hilton happened. The reason I hear on this channel, on this podcast, is because I defended Kenan on TikTok about Cena struggling. And we were there in agreement. We bonded. And that's why I'm here. And now, let's be honest, a regular. And because Cena shouldn't win, should struggle. And now, I think we're both kind of going, yeah, he could win. I'd be happy with the win.
No, I want him to win. He needs to win.
Just want the title off Cody.
You know what? It's amazing what a heel turn can do, because Sam and I were like, he needs to lose all the way until SummerSlam and just, maybe just win it at SummerSlam. Maybe his journey to WrestleMania is about him getting a win again, but then he just comes out, wins the Elimination Chamber, and it's all changed. Right, let's run through some other quick things. But Braun Strowman and Solo Sikoa ended in a no contest. Because Tama Tonga got involved, and then Jacob Fatu came out, and it became a whole thing. So we don't really know where Solo and Jacob or any that are going to fit.
We are getting Strowman versus Fatu at Mania, because he put Fatu through a table,
and he got up.
Got up. He stumbled away, but that's like supervillain move.
We've got 5 weeks till WrestleMania. That's a SmackDown match if I've ever heard it. Triple H puts on big SmackDown and Raw matches. That's where we're getting that. It'll probably be next week or the week after, and then they'll do whatever they're going to actually do.
Yeah, we had Braun Strowman versus Big Bronson Reed on Raw, and it was a fantastic match going through walls and all this kind of stuff. So, yeah, it doesn't have to be a Mania match, but still to be seen how the rest of the bloodline kind of fits in at Mania. It's really to be seen. What else do we have? We had Chelsea Green defeat Michin again in a street fight. Michin really needs to get out of the US title picture now. But that we said, Alba Fire came to her rescue and prevented Chelsea from losing the title. Drew McIntyre defeated Jimmy Uso. And after the match, we had Damian Priest attacking Drew after he attacked him earlier in the show, kind of talking about their WrestleMania match. And I think Drew's actually sent out a tweet now to say how about it for WrestleMania. I think he called him Timu Undertaker, which was brilliant. So that's probably going to be heading there. What else do we have?
You think Wish are really delighted that they're no longer the version?
It's now the Timu version.
Do you reckon their marketing department is like, happy or unhappy because they're not getting mentions now.
Well, that's it. Exactly. It's like we're not relevant anymore. It's a T-mover.
No such thing as bad press.
Well, yeah.
How can you also skip over Chelsea Green wearing Cactus Jack gear? I'm sorry.
Oh, so good.
Huge for that to be 6.
She had a socko. She had her own socko with her own face on it.
And then didn't use it. That woman understands what real wrestling is. She
Absolutely.
gets it. It's not about in-ring work. Screw that, AEW. It's not about that. It's about walking out, cosplaying, and doing very little moves and still getting huge responses. That's
Yeah,
how it's
well,
done.
She can still do the big moves. If she needs to put on a proper wrestling clinic, she
seen
can.
You've seen a Lucha Underground match with Penta?
Oh, yes.
Moly. So, yes, she can. That's the thing. She can bust it out when needs to. She's taking on Sol Ruka at NXT for the US.
Well, that's it. She's so she is kind of the mid-card title holder that's actually on TV every week. Whether she's wrestling or not, she's involved. She's been on NXT, like you say, lots of exposure there. She is really putting her time in at the moment. She's been really, really good. And I want to see her retain at WrestleMania, whatever match she's in. I don't know if she'll end up on the card. And that's the trouble with so many mid-card matches now. Are we actually going to get all these mid-cards on the show? You know, I find it hard to see. So before we wrap up, I'm just going to tell you what's happening this coming week. So on SmackDown, Cody Rhodes is going to be on Miz TV. Woo! We have the WWE Tag Team Championship match, DIY versus Pretty Deadly. We have Randy Orton versus Carmelo Hayes, and we have B-Fab versus Charlotte. Then next week on Raw, we have Cody Rhodes again and John Cena under one roof. We have Dakota Kai versus Ivy Nile. We have Penta versus Ludwig Kaiser, no holds barred. We have Bron Breakker versus Finn Balor for the Intercontinental Championship, and Jey Uso versus Austin Theory. What excites you most about those matches and segments? Looks again, Cody Rhodes is going to be on SmackDown and Raw again, talking about the same thing. Not keen on that, but I'm really looking forward to Ludwig Kaiser versus Penta. I think that'll be really good. That'll probably be my match of the week. Any other thoughts?
Hayes Orton will be fantastic.
It'll be a really fun match. You've got Hayes is really, really great. Yeah. I think he's phenomenal in ring. And Randy can bring amazing performances out of anybody. And we'll see a great performance, a great fight from Carmelo, and it'll end in a
Springboard RKO.
In a hell of an RKO.
Springboard RKO. You can predict it now. Put it in. Springboard RKO.
Is KO not going to come and attack him and Carmelo pick up the win?
Or it'll just be a DQ.
Yeah. Yeah. Because Carmelo's kind of been on a bit of a winning streak.
Attack after the fact. Like, KO is destroying Sammy, got the win, and then carried on. And then Randy went, oh, do you know what? I'll wander out now.
Yeah.
Slowly.
Slowly. And Neil made a really good point. Why was he in his wrestling gear? The man's been out for ages. He didn't have a match. I mean, he came out in his wrestling gear. Why was he not in street clothes coming out, chasing after Kevin Owens, trying to save Sami Zayn?
But no, street clothes.
But yeah. Yeah.
Why was he in his wrestling gear for his promo?
Yeah, it's what he meant.
Wasn't it a thing like old-fashioned people? They always wore their in-ring gear, regardless. There was never a street.
If they're in the arena,
they never. But it is also a wrestling thing. It's a bit like a racing, a karting thing. You never go anywhere near a kart track. You never go anywhere near a wrestling arena without your gear.
Right.
Yeah, like the King was on commentary and he was never not in gear. Just in case to see a sister. You need to go to the ring and do 7 minutes of punches. Go do it now, damn it.
If I was as jacked as Randy, I would be walking around in.
It's also very true.
That's a really good point. That's a really good point.
If I wouldn't be wearing a t-shirt now, but no one wants to see that, you know.
Definitely.
I was ginger. I still look pale and weird. It wouldn't work.
All right, what's the Sheamus?
No, it doesn't.
I wouldn't mind having the physique of Sheamus. Thank you very much.
I'll take it. Right, gentlemen, is there anything else you want to talk about before we wrap up today?
Wrestling wise, no.
Wrestling wise, yeah. Before we come on to anything else.
No, wrestling wise, no. I think there's going to be some cool stuff coming up. I just hope they can cut out the fluff now. I do not need to see another picture of Cena's foot on Cody's head.
We're going to see on Miss TV.
I reckon do you reckon that's just WWE's insecurity? Cena's not going to be there for 2 weeks.
Yeah.
We need to make sure that people, because if they just doesn't turn up and they don't mention it, people would have complained. And I think it's just insecurity going, let's just make sure we know he's not there. But here's the recap again. It just feels like Kevin Dunn.
The
Feel
the
very
interesting thing about the whole Cena not being there is he's supposed to be doing 36 dates. He's missed nearly a third of the year already, and
It's
been
because he's going to win the
twice.
title at Mania and then appear with the title every week.
You
That's
forget,
what happened.
this is the thing about 36 days. A, that's less than one a week. So 50, so that's 16 weeks. That's 4 months you're missing. But also, some of those are included in live events.
Yes.
That's the thing people don't realize. There are live events in there.
Okay, well, that is all our WWE action review. Alex, what do you want to talk about?
I finally got monetized on YouTube. I'm not going to make any money. I haven't got enough videos or enough stuff on there, but I do now have memberships. So for no reason at all, you want to pay me £1.99, you can be a member on my channel. And that'll be nice. But yeah, there's going to be a whole lot of content coming soon. I've got a race planned. I've got an advert planned. And then we've got a test coming. I'm going testing next week. Very much looking forward to going testing next week in my brand new built cart. I put a video up a couple of days ago of the fully released cart. So the cart is finished
It's
now.
looking
All the
very
stickers.
slick.
It looks so good. I'm so happy with the finished result. Yeet. Yeah, so there's loads of stuff actually going to come from me soon, and I think Thursdays I'm going to start live streaming iRacing again because, well, if I'm monetized now, I need to do some more content.
It's true. Gotta start making it rain.
Exactly. Gotta make this hobby actually not disdainable to my wife.
Yes. Sam, what do you want to talk about?
A few things happening on my channel. First of all, as of literally 5 minutes ago, I've just crossed 200 subscribers on YouTube. Has just happened. So
Well done.
5 months in, I will take that. We've got a busy week of really random stuff. On Friday, I think we've got an episode of us actually finally talking about Cena's heel turn and the build to WrestleMania. So we're actually finally discussing that. But we've got our power rankings this week is Stardust and Goldust. We're looking at not Cody Rhodes, who are looking at Stardust. Our Sam versus Sam is WrestleMania charades with a non-wrestling fan being the guessers. So she does
that's
not
fun.
know anything about that.
Did I see it?
I've seen some of those before. I've seen one of those before, yeah.
This is now the WrestleMania edition.
He was rubbish. It was painful. Funny but painful.
Oh, she didn't even know that meant the. Oh, it was a bad day. It was a bad day. Next week, generally, we're going to try and see the good in heel Michael Cole as an announcer. We're going to find all the good things. The video somehow is 19 minutes. Don't ask me how we got that. But my favorite video, and I think the one that I think Canon might really appreciate, is this week. I think it's on the 13th. We are doing WWE Superstars as Star Wars characters. Who is the best
Nice.
as each Star Wars character?
Love it.
So that's what we're doing. So there's a lot of terrible Photoshop.
Brilliant.
Video. And quite frankly, I don't take it as seriously as Baby Sam takes it. That's all I'm going to say. I don't do it properly. That's our week. It's a big week. Thank you for anyone who has watched our channel and subscribed. Please come over, subscribe to this. We need to get like a TikTok collaboration next. That's what we need to do.
Yes.
We need to do a TikTok collab. That's next, I think.
I think that's a really good shout.
Charades on TikTok with all of us because you guys actually might know the answers.
The thing is your history is way better than most of ours because we have. For me, example, I have a spotted history in WWE. I have a very big gap.
Yeah, it sounds like a
Basically
photographic
17 to
memory
18.
of everything he's ever seen. It's just like,
It's
I remember a time. Yeah.
Then you're the Sheldon Cooper of WWE knowledge.
And I tell you what, when you get one wrong though, it just causes that little just start ticking because I can't believe I got that wrong. I can't believe I got it wrong.
I think Sam and Neil will be a good face-off because Neil's knowledge is pretty good as well. So I'd love to see the Sam versus Neil.
One-on-one.
Yeah.
Let's do it. I'm happy.
I'll play host. And we'll have Neil versus Sam. I like that.
I'm gay. All I would say is I didn't realize how much of a loser I was until I think we did the 2010 Royal Rumble entrance in order. And I think between me and Baby Sam, we got it right. I think we actually got it right. Because we were allowed one mistake each per person. And I did think we got 30 out of 30. And that's what I went,
How
okay.
do you have a girlfriend?
I don't know. She's thing as well. That's the crazy thing. I don't get it. I got her into darts. Don't ask me how I've done that. That's the real achievement.
Right, Joe, it's been a pleasure as always. Thank you very much. Thank you for those watching and listening. As always, we really appreciate your support. Make sure you follow us on social media, TikTok, Facebook, Twitter, wherever we're at. Make sure you hit that like and subscribe on our YouTube channel. Hit that bell to get notified about our latest episodes. And we're available on any podcast platform if you just want to hear our voices rather than look intensely into our gorgeous faces. But that's about it for now. So until next time, peace out.